Last year, according to Medicare's Outreach and Education publication, the federal government collected $8.5 billion from the settlements of Medicare beneficiaries. In its last published report to Congress in 2018, Medicare admitted it lacked the resources or personnel to manage the program and conceded it made at least $500 million of errors in the collection from Medicare beneficiaries' settlements. This video may help you save substantial amount of money by learning how to challenge the government's money grab. The video provides an overview of the law and suggests strategies to help minimize the government's claim. In other words, we want to help you stop it from illegally taking your money. The law used to take the money from Medicare beneficiary settlements is called the Medicare Secondary Payer Statute. In a minute, I'll show you the text of the law that the government uses to take money out of your settlement. But first, let me briefly explain the overview of this tax scheme. The Medicare Secondary Payer Statute shifts responsibility for paying medical bills from Medicare health insurance to what it calls primary payers. Examples of primary payers are group health insurance, workers' comp carriers, or automobile insurance policies. In other words, Medicare would normally cover your bill with your Medicare health insurance, but when you're injured by the negligence of someone else, Medicare will potentially deny your claim and say that the liability insurance policy is primary. However, the law does allow Medicare to pay the medical bill when the automobile insurance doesn't promptly pay it. For most automobile collision cases, insurance companies rarely promptly pay. Therefore, what usually happens is that Medicare makes what they call conditional payments and then seeks to recover the conditional payments later from out of the automobile settlement money. That's what the Medicare Secondary Payer Plan is all about, collecting conditional payments out of your automobile insurance settlement. The way Medicare does this is by making the liability insurance companies responsible for protecting Medicare's liens. Medicare sends a list of conditional payments to the automobile insurance adjuster and then demands that the adjuster pay those conditional payments out of your settlement money. Newsflash, the adjusters aren't going to investigate or challenge Medicare's lien claim. They're not going to review the conditional payment list to make sure it lacks errors or anything like that. The adjuster is just going to pay whatever the government demands. This is why I made this video, so I could teach you how to challenge the government claim. In the next few slides, I'll go over the text of the law and show you how it operates. Then I'll show you some strategies you can use to keep the federal government from illegally taking more than it's entitled to from your settlement. This video is an introduction to the Medicare Secondary Payer Statute. I hope to make some future videos with more details on the specific strategies I outline in a few minutes. Here's the law, the federal statute used to take money from the settlements of Medicare beneficiaries. This shows the text of the law passed in 1980 by Congress. It establishes automobile insurance as a primary payer, but only if payment can reasonably expect it to be made. That, my friends, is a pretty big if. More on that later. This slide shows the text where the law defines conditional payments. A payment is only a conditional payment if the primary plan had responsibility to make it. This responsibility may be demonstrated by analyzing the items and services included in the claim. Okay, enough of my lawyerly statutory analysis. Let's look at a summary of some of the strategies to minimize how much money the government is allowed to take. All government tax programs must comply with due process. It's the constitutional requirement. Their findings of fact must be supported by facts and evidence in the record. Because the government pretty much processes its list by computer programs based on diagnostic codes and bills from the providers and hospitals, it makes tons of errors. Its conditional payments lists are frequently wrong. To be honest, when Medicare says it made $500 million of errors in 1 year, I don't think it knows what it's talking about. I don't think it has any idea how many millions of dollars it makes mistakes on when it collects these funds. From my personal experience, I see tons of errors. Almost every case is filled with errors. I bet there is way more than $1 billion of errors. 2 remedies no automobile insurance adjuster is going to tell you about. 1, everyone has a right to ask Medicare to waive the lien. 2, everyone has a right to appeal when Medicare makes errors in its determination. With regard to waivers, if your financial situation is such that the income you have is barely more than your monthly expenses, such as rent, food, clothing, gas, etc., then you probably are eligible for a waiver, and Medicare must waive all or a portion of the lien claim. With regard to errors, you have the right to appeal through at least 4 layers of federal bureaucracy, including the right to have your case heard by an administrative law judge. And then, if they still are making mistakes, you can take your case to federal court. If the adjuster tells you they are taking a big chunk of your automobile insurance settlement, call me. My contact information is on the following slide. I'll be happy to give you a free consultation. If I can help you, I'll tell you. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and thank you for your attention.